this is Carrie, Fullerton Professional Organizing. Today I am talking about meal planning. Now, I'm getting some ideas from Emily Counts and from a Erica Carneglia. I'm not sure how to pronounce that last name, but as usual, I'll leave links down below. But I found these two ladies very, very interesting because one, the first lady, Emily Counts, she does meal planning the way I have already told you I do meal planning. So that's just going to add a little more information to what I already do and what is easiest for me. There are lots and lots and lots of meal plans out there, but this is the only one that has worked for me. And I thought it was unique, my unique way of meal planning. So this is the first person that I have ever run across that does meal planning exactly the way I do it. So we're going to go over that. And then something that I just barely started doing, kind of by accident. I was going to try all these new recipes from this once a month cookbook, right? I have not made any of those recipes yet. But what I did do is I bought all the veggies and I chopped them all up. And because I had not made the recipes and I did not want all those veggies to go bad, I chopped up all the mushrooms and froze them and all the bell peppers and froze them. And it actually turned out great. So now when I talk to you about this next person's ideas for meal planning, Erica, these two meal plans can be used together to make your meal planning much easier, but also help keep it from being boring. And in another podcast, I talked about a lady named Bree that talked about adding sauces to some of your boring, and I'm not saying the meals are boring, it's just that you've eaten those meals so many times that you want to change it up. She says change it up with sauces. So this goes along with that concept. So first, let me talk to you a little bit about what Emily Count says about meal planning. She says first, well, let me get all my pages together here. All right. Emily says planning meals for the week ahead is one of the best ways to ease the stress involved with getting dinner on the table for your family every day. We're going to learn how to simplify meal planning with this beginner meal planning method that's flexible and easy to implement. Now, she calls it a beginner meal plan, but this is the meal plan I live by because it is simple, makes my life so much easier. What she says to do is, in this method, in her house, they are able to create simple weekly meal plan in 5 minutes. And here's how. We create an easy meal plan using themed days. Now I'll tell you what mine is and then I'll tell you what hers is. My themed days are Monday is chicken, Tuesday tacos, Wednesday wings. Although my husband has now informed me that he's completely sick of wings, so we've changed it up. We switched Thursday and Wednesday and did away with wings for a while. So when I implement wings again, we may do it once a month and figure out something else. Thursday used to be takeout or go out to eat, so now we do that on Wednesdays. Now Thursdays became I forgot what Thursdays is now because I probably just, I don't know. Right now I'm not thinking about it, but we are going to get to that again in a little bit because I wrote it down in my notes, and we'll get there. And then Friday is either fish or frozen. Saturdays, super salads, and Sundays, barbecue or link sausages. And we'll go back over that in a little bit because I've got some more ideas and she's got some more ideas. So let me go over what she says again. These theme days and meal planning method is perfect for beginners because it involves little planning time while still giving you some structure to create an easy meal plan in a matter of minutes. I think this is the simplest way to meal plan, which means it's perfect for those new to meal planning. Like Taco Tuesday or Pasta Thursdays. It's easy to put on repeat so it's not time intensive. We do this every week in our house in just a few minutes. She says one quick note is we really only plan dinners and keep breakfast and lunches pretty basic in our house. The less complicated, the better, in my opinion. And that's what we do. I do cook breakfast every Saturday and Sunday morning because we really, really do enjoy that. And we look forward to it every Saturday and Sunday if possible. Now, theme days meal planning is best for you if you've never consistently meal planned, you struggle to think about meal ideas, you feel like you're always making the same type of food and want more variety, you don't want to devote time to planning meals every week. And with the next lady I'm going to talk about, we're going to talk about variety and how that her plan works with this plan and makes this plan even better. Here's how it works. Give each day of the week a theme. Assign each day of the week a different theme. This gives you a built-in meal plan for each day so you have a bit of structure and make sure you have a variety of meals planned in your week. Now, here are some ideas, and then I'll tell you my ideas again. Here are the themes we use. These are the themes Emily uses. Breakfast Sundays, meat and veggie Mondays, Taco Tuesdays, rice bowl Wednesdays, on the grill Thursdays, takeout Fridays, and family favorites Saturdays. But here are some other ideas that she has. Here are a few other theme ideas. Stir fry, pasta, pizza, ethnic food, meatless, Instant Pot, crock pot, soup and sandwiches, on the grill, although she mentioned that, Mexican, Italian, paninis, salads. All right, now let's go over some of my ideas. Even though I don't use this on Mondays, I might switch it up just to keep my husband from getting bored. I don't get bored with my meal plan, but he does. So how about instead of, I always do chicken on Mondays, I just have several different seasonings that I switch up on the chicken. I have chicken thighs. He has chicken tenders. I seasoned them up with either lemon pepper or everything but the bagel seasoning, just regular all-purpose seasoning. You can use Cajun seasoning. Just all of your favorite chicken seasonings, you can just switch them up. Lemon pepper, I think I already mentioned, but you can just switch those up every week on Monday and have a different flavored chicken. Now, I do use an air fryer almost for everything. And then I already told you Wing Wednesday, Takeout Thursday, or Takeout Thursday and Italian Thursday. Maybe you can have, I usually don't have Italian Thursday because it's a lot of pasta and bread, but I have started putting Italian back in because now I'm starting to use a lot of cauliflower and mushrooms as my base instead of the pasta. And for pizzas, I use low carb tortillas. So Fridays is something frozen, either that I have made extra homemade and froze it specifically for Fridays, or something that from your freezer section from the grocery store. I did that because it's still something that is less expensive than going out to eat, but it's still something easy. It's a frozen casserole that you can just put in the oven and everything's already done. That could also be crock pot Friday or Instapot Friday. And then Saturdays is soup and salad instead of soup and sandwiches, because I ate a lot of sandwiches growing up, and I'm just not a sandwich person unless it's Schlotzsky's. For some reason, I can do that. Sunday, I always hope my husband will barbecue, but he doesn't always. And when he does, he barbecues a lot extra, and I freeze it for barbecue Sundays. If I don't have the leftover barbecue, it's just us two, so he can make a whole thing of ribs, and I can divide it into to eat and to freeze. If not, we'll have link sausages. I know one YouTuber, they have hot dog Sundays. I know some have spaghetti, Italian spaghetti Sundays every Sunday. So there are a lot of ideas that you can implement and have that as your default. Those are your default recipes. We're going to get to that. Choose a default meal for each day. And that's what I've done. That way, if I want to cook something different, or if I've gotten bored, like my husband got bored of Wing Wednesdays, then I've implemented some Italian meals in there to instead. But I have a meal plan that is set in stone, and then I can change it up when I have the extra energy and the time. And that is what makes this so unique. And this is Emily Counts is the only person that I have found that does the exact same thing I do. So once you've assigned each day of the week a theme, the next step is to decide on a default meal that fits into each theme. Make your default meals things that are crowd pleasers in your house, the recipes you all enjoy, and the ones that you've made frequently, so they won't be stressful to prepare. It's also helpful if your default meals use ingredients that you usually have on hand. So if you don't get grocery shopping done, you're likely to be able to make some of these meals. Here are the default meals we currently have on our family's meal plan. Breakfast Sundays, default meal is scrambled eggs and pancakes. Meat and veggies Monday, their default meal is honey mustard pork chops. Taco Tuesday, their default meals, ground beef tacos. Rice Bowl Wednesdays, the default meal is chicken stir fry bowls. On the Grill Thursdays, default meal brats with fries and or chips. Takeout Fridays, the default meal would be order pizza. Family Favorites Saturdays is their default meal is spaghetti. Now, I think I already said mine. On Saturdays and Sundays, we have bacon, breakfast sausage and eggs. We try to stay away from any toast or bread items because my husband's diabetic. But we might start adding in some healthy fats like avocado. We really like avocado, and I buy them from Sam's Club, so I usually have to use them up pretty quickly because I buy so many of them. And then, like I said, chicken on Mondays, but it could be meatless Monday. Taco Tuesday, Wing Wednesday, Thursday takeout or Italian, Fish Friday or Frozen Friday, Saturday is soup and salad, Sunday barbecue, link sausages, it can be fajitas, ribs, steaks. Create your weekly meal plan. Now that you have created your theme days meal plan, you have a plan in place you can rely on week after week. Get into the habit of planning your meals on a specific day each week. In her house, she does it on Sundays. Now for me, since I have the default meal plan, I just kind of wing it. But you can meal plan and get in the habit of meal planning. Start by taking a quick look around your kitchen and noting any foods that could be used in a meal this coming week, especially anything perishable like produce or meats. Let those foods spark meal ideas so you can use up what you already have as much as possible, and then fill in any gaps with other meals you'd like to try this week, like the ones from the once a month cookbook that I don't know, but I'm gonna try. Maybe I should just try one new recipe a month. After you create your meal plan for the week, then take note of any groceries you'll need to pick up so you'll be all set to conquer mealtime. All right, now number 4, she just talks about swapping new themes. You can change things up. I think a lot of methods are really overcomplicated. True. You need a change. Always feel free to swap in new themes, whether that's a permanent swap or just for the week. Like I said, now we have an Italian week where I use cauliflower or mushrooms instead of pasta. You need to change. Perhaps you want to change things seasonally as well. You might want chili during the winter, or some of those Prizzoli, or some of those wintry soups in the winter when it's cold. Let's see, let me repeat what she says. Perhaps you'll want to change things seasonally, such as switching your soup and grilled cheese day out for a fresh salad night as the weather warms up. The beauty of this method is that it's flexible and it is totally up to you how you go about it. All right, now here is just a little review. If you're tired of your family asking what's for dinner and never have a plan, Emily is here to help with 2 super simple meal planning methods. The golden rule of meal planning: limit new recipes to the weekend or to a day and time where you have more energy and you just feel like making something new. When I talk to other women, meal planning almost always comes up as a big source of stress in their house. Most either have no idea how to even start meal planning, and they're always doing the last minute scramble. Theme days might be best for you. If you've never consistently meal planned, struggle to think of meal ideas, feel like you're always making the same type of meal, or you don't want to devote time to meal planning each week, this is for you. When planning with a flexible menu, it's important to remember to use your go-to meals, not a whole list of new recipes to try. A flexible menu might be for you if you like variety in your meals, your schedule is unpredictable, or you want to be able to eat whatever you feel like on a given day. Option 1 for dinner meal planning is giving each day of the week a theme. Some examples would be breakfast Sundays, Taco Tuesdays, family favorite Saturdays. Option 2 for dinner meal planning is having a flexible menu. Brainstorm a list of meals you want to eat and buy all the ingredients. Instead of assigning meals to specific days, choose from your menu each day. Focus on the main dish and put sides on autopilot. Keep your freezer or pantry stocked with a few dinners you can pull out in emergency situations. It can be as simple as chicken nuggets or chicken strips and French fries. All right, now the other option to make some meal planning easier comes from Erica Carneglia. And what she says is you can prepare let me start here. She has a YouTube channel, and she talks about 15-minute meal prep. And she talks about batch cooking. And this can be even plant-based or however you like to eat. First, she says, cook 2 to 3 proteins to eat throughout the week. Animal or plant-based, that's up to you. Beans, lentils, nuts, seeds, or your choice of meat or proteins. Healthy fat are nuts, seeds, avocados, olive oil based and oil-based dressings. Make sure you have 1 to 2 starchy carbs, which options: gluten-free bread or grains, whole grain breads, beans, oats, sweet potatoes, bananas, some of your fruits. Quinoa is her favorite. Now, if you're diabetic, you may have to ask your doctor which one of these that you can add in and portion size, because some of them will really spike your sugar. On the weekends, have non-starchy carbs. Be generous. Cauliflower, zucchini, mushrooms, broccoli, red bell peppers, eggplant, kale, spinach, romaine lettuce, tomatoes, pre-chopped and ready to go. She says you can eat as much of that as you want. Now, again, talking to your doctor, if you're diabetic, you may ask him again, like I said, ask him about those starchy carbs, because some say you shouldn't have any and some say a little bit is very important to any meal plan. So you might have to work with your doctor on that. And then the next thing is having 2 to 3 flavor factors. And what she means by that is these are things that you can use to change up your recipe so that it's doesn't taste exactly the same every single time. Switch dressings, switch sauces, switch the spices and herbs, use hummus, use condiments, mix and match meal components. Your plate should have protein, healthy fat, starchy and non-starchy, and a flavor factor. She says meal planning eliminates decision fatigue. 2 ways to meal plan is the mini meal plan and the full meal plan. She says prepare a few to be used in a variety of ways. A few components that you can mix and match throughout the week. Now, a full meal plan is 6 recipes for the week, like egg bakes for breakfast, Mediterranean bowls for lunch, and soup for dinner. 2 soups that you alternate for dinner. That would be your meal prep for that week. Or you could do the mini meal prep. This is the part that kind of struck me. This is what I liked. You got 3 to 6 food components: grilled chicken, pesto, roasted sweet potatoes. Those are her 3, but you can have up to 6. She says, organize and plan. Make it work for you. Set up your kitchen for success. Have all the tools that make it easy and enjoyable. Stock your pantry with commonly used items that you like to eat. Dried foods and glass containers are needed so that you always have those dried foods. They last longer, so you can cook them up at any time and add those to your meal. And always have the basics: the cutting board, chef's knife, a blender, nonstick cookware. When do you need meals? Start with the hardest meal to eat healthy. How much time do I have to prep? Variety. Do you want more variety or consistency? Which is it that is harder for you to keep up with meal prepping? All right, here are some review of what Erica has to say. Erica walks through meal prepping and planning, how to do it, what to include, and what to do when things don't go according to plan. And then I'll tell you what I, like I said, well, actually, I think I already mentioned it. I pre-cut a bunch of veggies, but I'll get to that in just a minute. Place a damp towel under your cutting board to keep it from sliding around as you chop foods. When we're nourished with food and feel satisfied throughout the day, everyday tasks can feel easier and even more manageable. Taking time to plan ahead removes decision fatigue. This is trying to come up with an idea for dinner and then thinking of all the work you will have to do to prepare it when you're tired and hungry. This is how I implement some of her ideas to my meal plan that I'm gonna start implementing. Like, if I am gonna try let's say I'm gonna make beef fajitas or chicken fajitas, and I want bell peppers. I buy the bell peppers at Sam's. I usually get 6 in a package. Well, it's just my husband and I. We don't need that many just for one meal. So when I'm cooking the fajitas, I will chop up all the bell peppers, and what I don't use, those go in a freezer bag and in my freezer. Now I have extra peppers for any meal that I want to add peppers to, even if it's just to add peppers to change up a meal that I make all the time, but I don't normally add peppers. I really love the orange and the yellow peppers. They really add a sweet flavor to any dish, especially a stir fry. And my Italian, if I'm going to make spaghetti, and we don't eat pasta, so I will stock my spaghetti sauce with lots of ground beef, lots of mushrooms to add heartiness to it, and then we serve it over cauliflower. But what makes us not miss the pasta is the great tasting spaghetti sauce, for one, but those mushrooms, because that mushrooms kind of gives it some texture, because that cauliflower definitely does not have the same texture as spaghetti noodles. So that is some of the things. So if I chop up mushrooms, I will chop up all the mushrooms and freeze the extras. You understand? Every time I make a recipe, so when I go grocery shopping, I don't just come home and chop up all the vegetables for an hour or two. I just chop up what I need for a recipe, and then I chop all of it and then freeze it, so that every recipe I'm chopping up a few different amounts of the same vegetable that I'll be chopping up anyway. That way, the next time I make a few of these recipes, I don't have to chop up anything for a while. Then when I have to buy a fresh batch, I will do the same thing. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. So, taking the time to plan ahead removes decision fatigue. This is trying to come up with an idea for dinner and then thinking of all the work you will have to do to prep it when you're tired and hungry. This way you're doing just a little at a time. There are two options for meal prepping: the mini meal prepping and full meal prepping. And it just depends on your energy. You may do one or the other or both. A full meal prep would be cooking large batches of food and complete recipes, and then dividing out the exact same meal throughout the whole week. And then changing up your salad or soup for supper. Now, a mini meal prepping is preparing interchangeable meal components that go with everything else you're cooking. If you have more time and like consistency, a full meal prep is best for you. If you have less time and like variety and flexibility, the mini meal prep may work best for you. Set up your kitchen for success. This means a stocked pantry of common foods, storage containers, and your basic tools such as cutting board, knife, blender, and nonstick cookware. Now, look at your, and in my case, the air fryer, the nonstick air fryer. That's what I use. Look at your upcoming week. Decide how many meals you need and what is realistic for you to prepare. Don't try to prep everything your first time. Start small and work your way up. You don't want to be overstimulated and overwhelmed with meal prepping. Have a combination of the following 5 in every meal: protein, starchy carbs, non-starchy carbs, healthy fat, and a flavor factor. And you can get more detailed information from her website and from her Facebook page and from YouTube. To make cooking day more enjoyable, have fun with it. Have fresh flowers in the kitchen. Make sure it is clean and tidy, and play some music to make it a little more enjoyable. All right, guys, this was a 30-minute video, but I think it's the simplest way to meal plan and meal prep, using a combination of both of their ideas. Every time you make a meal, cut up those extra vegetables and freeze them. I think that makes everything easier, and that way if you make anything and you decide, oh, you know what, this would be good with a few mushrooms, take out some mushrooms from the freezer and add them to your dish. I decided to make some orange chicken, and I needed some onions and bell peppers, so I took those out of the freezer and I was able to add those in. It's just like the frozen vegetables that you get at the grocery store, but you're kind of making them yourself and freezing them in freezer bags, but you're not doing it all at once so that you're overwhelmed with all the prep that it takes. You do it a little at a time. Every time I buy a new package of bacon and a new package of breakfast sausage, I wait until the time I'm making breakfast. The first day I slice, because I don't run out of both at the same time. So when I'm cutting up the sausage for breakfast, I will cut up the whole large tube of breakfast sausage, and I will put it on a oiled cookie sheet, put it in the freezer. When it's frozen, I pop those into a freezer bag, and you can pull them out individually. And same with bacon. The next morning, I may take all the bacon and divide it up into little baggies so that I have individual portions of bacon ready to cook for breakfast the next time. So you don't have to just do all your prep in one whole weekend or one whole Saturday. You can do the extra prep as you go. Yes, it does take a little extra 15 minutes. The only thing you really have to do as soon as you get home from the grocery store is if you buy the big package of chicken thighs and you need only one chicken thigh a day, it's good to go ahead and put those in the individual baggies so that you only defrost one chicken thigh at a time. And I've said this many times, my husband likes white meat, I like chicken thighs. I find it so much easier to buy the chicken tenders than buy the whole chicken breasts. One, I think the flavors are better in chicken tenders because the flavors don't have to go in and marinate the whole chicken breast. It just, each individual tender is going to be organized, marinated. So I put 2 chicken tenders. Believe it or not, with his surgery and diabetes, he doesn't eat a lot of chicken. He has a smaller stomach now, so 2 chicken tenders, and sometimes I will make extra if we want chicken tacos instead of ground beef tacos, and chicken thighs. I put those in just enough for my husband and I, but I do it while it's already defrosted. The chicken tenders are frozen individually, so they're easy to put in the bag already frozen. I know that sounds like a lot, but those are the only things I do right when I get through grocery shopping. Is I put my meats, my chicken, into individual serving baggies. All right, guys, I hope all of this was helpful. I will see you on the next podcast. Thank you for watching.